streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at noon.
Now at noon, new legislation to protect law enforcement. The announcement made by Florida's chief financial officer to keep first responders safe. Plus, a story that has a community in Ocala shaken. A mom and her 4-year-old daughter found dead inside their apartment. Police say the suspect is her estranged husband.
We had no indication that there was going to be any violence between these two.
We start this noon in Volusia County. Florida's chief financial officer was in Daytona Beach this morning. Blaise Ingoglia announced additional legislation to protect federal law enforcement officers here in Florida. Your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed joins us live. She was in that announcement. Molly, what did he have to say?
Well, he was here today to announce additional legislation he says would extend Florida's HALO law that's currently in place, but now to include federal law enforcement officers. Now, right now, the law ensures that there is a 25-foot buffer zone between civilians and law enforcement, firefighters, and EMTs while they're actively performing their duties. It's a second-degree misdemeanor for anyone to then approach or be in that zone after getting a warning to step back. He says this would be in direct response to the situation in Minnesota.
After what happened in Minnesota and Minneapolis in particular, and seeing how you had activists basically in the face of ICE agents trying to rid the country of criminal aliens, we said that we have to do something here in the state of Florida to make sure that we show our federal partners that we are going to protect them as well.
Now, Ingoglia says this would be another effort in his plan to attack illegal immigration here. He says that his priority legislation just passed committee, and in that one, it would ensure that undocumented immigrants cannot get driver's license and that all driver's license tests going forward in Florida would be done only in English. I'm your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
Molly, thank you. Turning now to your forecast, we are continuing to see a warming trend. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here, and that mild weather sticking around, Candace.
Yeah, I mean, we are tracking a weakening cold front. It's really not going to bring us any changes other than a little more cloud cover overhead, and that's been keeping temperatures in the 60s throughout the majority of our morning. But we are starting to break out of those 60s into the low 70s at this hour. 72 News Smyrna. Good afternoon to you guys through Leesburg. Claremont holding at 70. Now, we are maybe a touch cooler than yesterday at this point, primarily due to that cloud cover. Right now, Daytona Beach, Skycam, not too bad there. We have a couple more folks out there than early last week. Temperatures this afternoon right now we're in those low 70s. We will continue to warm to near 80 degrees this weekend. We'll have more details on that and when we could start working some rain back into the forecast in just a few minutes.
Candace, thank you. Just a few hours ago, we learned more about how law enforcement used technology to track a husband accused of murdering his wife and her daughter to another state. Ocala police holding a press conference about that double murder and eventual suicide. News 6's Mark Lehman was at that press conference this morning and has the details.
Ocala police calling the deaths of the mother and daughter in this case senseless and a tragedy. The chief also commending the work by his officers and other police agencies, even using technology along the roadways to catch up to the suspect.
We're the neighbors. We heard gunshots. I heard gunshots. We heard gunshots.
Officers in Ocala responding to a disturbing scene after a shooting Tuesday night at the Marion Springs condos. 34-year-old Nancy Bacon was found dead along with her 4-year-old daughter Eden. Bacon's husband, 38-year-old Ralph Bacon, was immediately suspected as the shooter.
Witnesses at the scene advised that after hearing the gunshots, they observed the adult victim's estranged husband leaving the complex in a dark-colored SUV.
Chief Mike Balkin describing a challenging relationship between the married couple who reunited in December, but family members say there was lingering animosity.
We know that that child, the 4-year-old, was not the shooter's biological daughter. And we've heard through witnesses as well that that was a key issue within the relationships.
As investigators gathered evidence at the home, they also learned the suspect was pulled over about 7 miles north of the Georgia border on I-95, where he took his own life. License plate readers leading to the traffic stop.
This was instrumental not only in determining his direction of travel from the scene, fleeing, but potentially to protect somebody else's life to wherever he was going.
The chief says his detectives are going to continue work to piece together any answers that can come out of this, including what was happening in the moments leading up to the shooting. We'll keep you updated with any new details under the story on clickorlando.com. In Ocala, Mark Lehman, News 6.
A teen is now facing adult charges in Marion County. Brady Ming is accused of pouring gasoline on his friend and setting him on fire. The 17-year-old is now charged with aggravated battery. We showed you this disturbing video last month. It all happened in the Ocala National Forest. Now, we've paused the footage right before the boy caught fire. The victim was able to put the fire out by jumping into a lake, but still suffered second-degree burns on his arms and legs. Safety concerns with e-bikes have been a major talking point lately, and now there's this. A man arrested over the weekend in Winter Springs accused of DUI while on his motorized bike. This happened early Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. Police say before they stopped him, they watched him fall backwards off his e-bike near State Road 434, then get back on and keep riding. This is not the first time we've seen DUI arrests outside of a car. There have been cases involving golf carts and even horseback riders. Developing right now, major questions in El Paso, Texas. This morning, the FAA lifted a temporary shutdown of airspace over the city. This happened just a few hours after it was put into place late last night. The FAA issued a 10-day shutdown of El Paso International Airport. CNN reports the shutdown had to do with military operations at a nearby Army airfield. The FAA says there is no threat to commercial aviation. A man who says he was detained in connection with the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie has been released. It comes after new images were shared by the FBI of someone outside her home the night she went missing. CBS News' Andres Gutierrez spoke with the man who was released. He is in Rio Rico, Arizona, with the latest.
I didn't do anything, to be honest. I'm innocent.
A delivery driver named Carlos told us he was the man deputies detained as a person of interest in the Nancy Guthrie case.
Told me stop moving. Like, what's your name? Carlos. And that's it. They put me in the cop car.
Overnight, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department searched his home in Rico Rio, Arizona, about an hour south of Tucson and close to Mexico's border. But they released him hours later.
I mean, I hope they get the suspect, because I'm not it. They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name.
The developments come hours after the FBI released new images captured by a security camera outside Nancy Guthrie's home the night she went missing. The chilling video shows an armed, masked person wearing gloves and a backpack.
They're going to spend hours, if not days, looking into each one of those items, and some are so unique.
Retired FBI agent Lance Lysing says the individual's behavior, such as picking up shrubs to apparently try to cover up the camera, indicates the person is not a professional criminal.
Extremely amateurish. And I do think that it gives investigators hope that if they're amateur at the door, they've made other mistakes.
It's now 11 days since the 84-year-old mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie was last seen. Authorities are urging the public to call in any tips that will lead to a break in the case. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Rio Rico, Arizona.
This morning, Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins visited a local food bank to learn about its massive operations in providing hunger relief. Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida is the largest emergency food provider in the region, distributing enough food to provide more than 300,000 meals a day to those in need. The food bank serves 7 counties in Central Florida. The Lieutenant Governor mentioned the importance of educating those in need.
You know, it's amazing when you see all the fresh fruit, the vegetables, the produce, all of the healthy options. It's critical. But really the thing that I think matters the very, very most is how we educate people. You know, when you grow up in that community and you grow up on welfare and you see families who are trapped over and over and over again because they don't know what they don't know, providing education equates to opportunity.
The Lieutenant Governor noted that the operation is top-notch thanks to the hard work of volunteers. Major questions remain this afternoon in a Sumter County neighborhood amid an FBI investigation. Neighbors receiving a message that explosives were found inside a home, and the way investigators say they were acquired will shock you. That's next. Here's a live look for you over at Mount Dora from our City of Mount Dora camera. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Now at noon, we're pressing law enforcement for answers in Sumter County. Investigators say explosive devices stolen from the military were found inside a home. Several homes in the villages were evacuated after the reported threat on Yucatan Way yesterday. News 6's Troy Campbell talked to neighbors, some of them telling him they found out about this through the Nextdoor app.
It's a much quieter scene now outside of the home here on Yucatan Way than it was earlier on Tuesday. We now know that the FBI is investigating. We spoke to several neighbors here who say they're just thankful everyone is safe.
A notification went off on my Nextdoor app this morning saying that there was explosives in the area.
It answered questions neighbors had since seeing law enforcement showing up in growing numbers along Yucatan Way.
My neighbor called me and says, "Have you heard what's going on?" I says, "No."
Carl Hogan says he had left his house Tuesday morning, but his neighbor filled him in.
And he says, "Oh, there's all kind of action going on around here and helicopters going around and police cars and everything else."
The Sumter County Sheriff's Office says it was called out to the home along the 1500 block just after 11 after someone discovered possible explosives. Investigators evacuated several homes as a precaution and blocked off the area. Members of the Lake County Bomb Squad could be seen at the home for hours. Law enforcement eventually identified several explosive devices. They say, quote, were confirmed stolen from the military inside the home.
This one was real. Kind of scary, especially being military.
Since law enforcement has not announced any arrests, we knocked on the front door of the home Tuesday night. There did appear to be people inside, but no one answered the door. Does it make you question how can you steal explosive devices from the military in the first place?
Absolutely. Where do they come from? How do they find them? How did they find them here?
Hoagland says while the FBI remains tight-lipped, he's left wondering how the explosives got so close to his home. So again, a lot of unanswered questions still remain. Sumter County and the FBI say their investigation is ongoing. In the villages, Troy Campbell, News 6.
All right, the time now is 12:14, so time to get a check of your forecast. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos is here. A lot of us are enjoying the warm-up, but we also desperately need some rain, and there is some rain in the forecast.
I mean, so far, Julie, our drought is at its worst at this point of the year than we've seen in about 25 years. So the big portion of Central Florida still remains under some version of a drought. So rain is certainly what we need, and we'll get some of it possibly Sunday and into Monday. There's a little bit of a question mark, though, as to the timing. We'll have that in just a few seconds. But let's talk about the forecast for today. We're talking about temperatures still well above average. Our average high for this time of the year is about 74. We're going up to about 76 today. And every day this week, we're going to continue to see those temperatures climb to near 80 degrees, especially come Valentine's Day. We'll show you a quick sneak peek of that forecast. But then as we head into your Sunday, of course, it's Daytona 500. And what better way to celebrate Daytona 500 than forecasting the potential of rain? I feel like it happens every year, but rain chances do go up to about 20 to 40% by Sunday. Now, temperatures out the door right now, it's feeling very nice out there. We're in the upper 60s, low 70s. Most of us will be hovering just a few degrees above average. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for your Wednesday.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
All right, our temperatures this afternoon are going to be back into those mid-70s. Again, mix of sun and clouds throughout the night, though. The skies will clear. We will have clear skies, light breeze, and just enough moisture and humidity in the air that will allow for some of that patchy fog to develop overnight. I'll be pinpointing that early tomorrow morning with our wake-up temperatures back into the mid-50s. But let's fast forward to Valentine's Day. So on Sunday, again, our average high by that point will be up to about 75 degrees. We're going to be well above that throughout our inland zones. If you wanted to enjoy Valentine's Day on the beaches, temperatures will be in the 70s, still looking at a high risk of rip currents, by the way. And then further inland will be up to about 81, 82 degrees potentially. Then the big question mark comes in. I'm going to show you the difference between two different models. Stopping the clock. This is Monday early morning before the sun even comes up. GFS model is bringing in a more potent cold front that's packing plenty of moisture. But notice most of the rain doesn't get here until most likely daybreak on Monday. This is the European, another big model that we watch. This one does something completely different. Brings us the rain almost 24 hours ahead of schedule there by 5 p.m. on Sunday, just in time for the Daytona 500. So with that being said, we don't have models in very good agreement at this point in time. They both show rain coming in. That's good. The only problem is they going to make it a soggy Sunday or a soggy Monday? Between now and then, we'll of course have a better handle on it. So just make sure to have some options and make sure to keep checking back with us. You can see the rainfall forecast, though, beneficial, up to about an inch, maybe an inch and a half if we're lucky. But again, the difference is really going to be the timing between, for instance, the European and the GFS. Rain chances, though, on Sunday, we're going to start bumping them up just to kind of give you a heads up, 40 to 70% chance. But the difference with this cold front, one, it's bringing us some decent rain, but two, it's really not going to be packing much of a cool punch behind it. Could be bringing temperatures back into the 70s. It looks like as of right now, that temperature outlook between now and possibly the end of February, we will be warmer than normal, with, again, the best chance for rain coming either Sunday or Monday.
Candace, thank you. A years-long search for a missing mother continues, nearly 2.5 years after she went missing from her Mount Dora home. Coming up, the unlikely hero being called into action, hoping he can help find Nicole Baldwin. And coming up on News 6 at 5.
I'm News 6 investigator Mike DeForest. License plate readers like that one up there help law enforcement solve crimes, but they also raise privacy concerns. Coming up, we'll take a drive together to see how often we pass by license plate readers.
Here is a live look over downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope camera. You're watching News 6 at noon. We'll be right back. An update now to a story we've been following for nearly 2.5 years, the search for Nicole Baldwin. The Mount Dora mother went missing from her home in November of 2023. After following every lead, investigators have turned to an unlikely helper, a cadaver otter. This is Splash. The Mount Dora Police Department confirms he is helping in the search for the missing mother. Splash is trained to detect scent underwater. The Mount Dora Police Department says he does this by releasing air bubbles that carry scent to the surface. They say he has helped in one search for Baldwin and is expected to join in more searches. Investigators say when Baldwin went missing, all of her belongings were left behind. They say her disappearance is believed to be the result of foul play. In Volusia County, pickleball turned into a pickle brawl last night. That's according to police in Port Orange.
come quick, please.
Okay. How many people are fighting?
There's about 20 people. Okay.
Any weapons?
The break? No. I mean, somebody hit somebody with a pickleball paddle, hit somebody in the head.
Anthony and Julianne Sapienza were arrested for the fight. Police say the couple assaulted the team they were playing against. According to the arrest report, the game got heated after Anthony accused his opponent of stepping into what's called the kitchen in pickleball. Deputies say a 70-year-old man was punched in the face, a woman was pushed to the ground, and another man was hit in the face with a pickleball paddle, which deputies say left a gash above his eye. Anthony and Julianne were later found at their home. Both are facing felony battery charges. Both are out on bond. Check out our primetime lineup on News 6 Plus. We have a new take on the day's news on News 6 tonight. That's at 9. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas answers your weather questions at 9:30. Then watch the late news an hour earlier. It's all tonight on News 6 Plus. Download our streaming app for free. Search WKMG in your smart TV's app store. It's also available on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. Here's a live look from our Launch Credit Union camera in Port Canaveral. Seeing some clouds hanging around. You're watching News 6 at noon. We're back in 3 minutes.
All right, let's take a quick look at the next 7 days. You can see that every day we're going to warm up a little further. We do have some high-level clouds. Can't rule out the chance of a passing sprinkle or two with some of those clouds, especially North Marion County. But overall, most of us will stay dry. We'll have a little more sunshine Thursday and Friday. But notice what happens on Sunday. We're timing out a new cold front. This one could have a little bit more moisture with it. The big question, though, is will it be more of a Sunday or Monday play? We'll have to wait and see. Keep checking back.
All right, Candace, thank you. Thanks for watching this noon. Our next newscast is at 3, and you can always check clickorlando.com for any updates. Have a great day.